Moving to the news of the day, I know that Secretary Kelly, alongside other DHS officials, just recently concluded a briefing on the operational implementation of the President's executive order. I think it's pretty clear from the Secretary's press conference that this executive order was enacted with the proper preparation and coordination between the White House and DHS, and that implementation will continue and proceed as planned. We also have a few updates on the leadership of some of our most critical government agencies. Last night, as you know, the President relieved Sally Yates of her duties as Acting Attorney General and named Dana Buente as the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia to serve as the Acting Attorney General until Democratic senators finally quit their obstruction and confirmed the unquestionably qualified Senator Jeff Sessions as our next Attorney General. Last night, the President also announced the appointment of Thomas Homan as Acting Assistant Secretary of Homeland Security and Director of ICE. Having a professional in place like this to serve as the acting director is critical to ensuring the efficient administration of the President's agenda. The Senate Democrats have done everything in their power to slow the work of the Senate, while the President continues to take decisive action, just like he promised during the thing. So it's unfortunate the Senate Democrats remain so out of touch with the message that the American people sent this past November. The people want change. President Trump is delivering that change, and the only response from Senate Democrats so far is to try to stall the core functions of our government. I know that I've repeated this every day, but honestly, it's getting a bit ridiculous. Voters are going to remember what senators stood in the way of when President Trump trying to install his agency and department heads the next time their name is on a ballot.
News of the day, prescription drug prices.
Yeah.
The President met with the pharma leaders earlier today. What makes him so confident that he can drive down drug prices, whereas administrations past have tried to do the same but haven't been able to? How is he going to go about it?
Well, I think it's the story of his entire administration. He's a successful businessman and a top-notch negotiator. Several people tried to get the cost of planes down, the cost of the F-35 and the cost of the Air Force One, and through a couple conversations, he did it. Shaved billions off of the cost of both. Off the F-35 and significant off the next generation Air Force One. I think he has a track record so far just during the transition, but also as a businessman, he knows how to negotiate. And I think he's going to sit down with these individuals the same way that he's getting people to understand the agenda and the regulatory and tax climate that he wants to institute that's bringing jobs home. People are making a commitment to him to bring jobs and manufacturing back based on his track record as a businessman and his word.
This was President Trump's tweet yesterday. If the ban were announced with a one-week notice, the bad would rush into our country during that week. So he says it's a ban.
He's using the words that the media is using. But at the end of the day, it can't... Hold on. It can't be... Jonathan, thanks. I'll let Kristen talk. It can't be a ban if you're letting 1 million people in. If 325,000 people from another country can't come in, that is by nature not a ban.
I understand your point, though.
It is
The
extreme
President
vetting.
himself called it a ban.
I understand.
Is he confused, or are you confused?
No, I'm not confused. I think that the words that are being used to describe it are derived from what the media is calling this. He has been very clear that it is extreme vetting.
To
I got
finish
it.
this
Thank you,
broader
sir.
point, Sean, which Paul Ryan said today, I think it's regrettable that there was some confusion on the rollout of this. The House Speaker saying that. What do you say to Republicans who argue that this is a part of a broader issue with the President not enacting this policy smoothly?
Well, first of all, I think we've addressed that we could have either telegraphed this days in advance, in which people could have gotten on planes and come over here, which would have undermined the exact nature of what this sought to prevent. Or we could have done it in a way that inconvenienced some folks for a little while. Can I answer the question? No. I do. There's clearly some confusion, but I think part of it, your network was one of the people that just hours ago told people that General Kelly was unaware of what's going on, and then moments later, he gets on air saying, here's how many times I can brief. So, I mean, with all due respect, I think you have been part of the confusion. You have helped cause this. Despite claims to whatever, you claim that you have sources that tell us, General Kelly stands up and says, this is how many times I've been briefed, this is how many people are involved.
Looking at a bigger picture, this president, when he came in, said he was going to gather us all together, that he was going to bring us together, and the actions taken in the first 10 days seem to indicate otherwise from people in his own party. The use of the word betrayal. How is this president going to address the fact that people are looking to him to bring people together, and yet with his own words seems to be driving us apart?
I think that's a very one-sided way of looking at this. I think he's brought, I think he's brought unions together, business leaders together, Republicans, Democrats, Independents. I think someone who doesn't carry out an act and using that as a way to describe that he's not bringing the country together is not exactly a representation.
The president has previously indicated that he would encourage the targeting of families of terror suspects. Is that still his current position?
When did he say that? It was.
On Fox,
Right.
he said the other thing with terrorists is you have to take out their families.
Well, I think
That's
he's
still
I
his
think he's
position?
been very clear that when it comes to seeking out ISIS and other terrorists, that he's going to lean on Director Pompeo, General Mattis, and seek their opinion on stuff, and I think that will be continued. Sarah?
And the families of terror suspects, civilian members of families.
Thank you.
Sean.
Hallie's question was about civilians that are being targeted by the administration in anti-terror raids.
Right.
And Zeke's question was about al-Awlaki's daughter. So let me ask you, is the president willing to kill and target American citizens, even minors, just because their family members are terrorists?
No American citizen will ever be targeted. Thank you guys very much. Have a great day. I'll see you tonight. Good luck, 8 o'clock.